My son was my last chance to be a mother. And now he's gone.
I am sorry for what happened to you.
Why? It's not your fault.
I need to tell you about something.
Tell me about what?
Your baby.
What about my baby?
I'm not sure how to say this.
Just say it. Tell me what you know about my baby.
Well, happy Independence Day.
What are you doing here?
You hired me, remember?
It's a holiday. The office is closed.
Gossip doesn't take holidays. Neither does your assistant, apparently.
Sam and I we're discussing something. Can you come back later?
Not if you want the early edition to get out on time. My first column. It can't go to press without your approval.
I'll take a look at it as soon as Sam and I are finished.
It took me a little longer than I expected. But that's because I found out a little rat was following me. A rat named Spinelli. But you'd know all about that, wouldn't you? How dare you and that little cyber geek go after me?
Look, if Spinelli's investigating you,
I caught him trailing me. Stealth isn't his strong suit, which seems odd considering how dependent your business is on it.
No, Spinelli and I are not business partners, not anymore. So if he's tailing you or investigating you, then you gotta take it up with him.
Your obvious virtues may fool men, but not me. You're awfully quiet.
I really don't know what to say.
Well, you could start by telling me what's going on here. And the two of you with your heads together on a holiday. And don't lie to me. I'm the gossip columnist. I know when someone's feeding me a line.
Todd was just about to tell me something.
That's suspiciously vague.
It was something about my baby.
If you'll excuse us, Mr. Manning and I have some important business to discuss in private.
What about my baby? What were you gonna tell me?
Whatever it is, it's gonna have to wait until later. You see, we're on a deadline, and a paper can't turn a profit if it doesn't go to print.
I could take the hit. I can afford it.
Well, I can't. See, this job's a second chance for me, and I'm not gonna let anything or anyone get in the way.
You just give us a few minutes. I really do want to talk to you
of
alone.
course.
Why don't you make yourself useful and order us some lunch? Hey, I, for one, am famished. Chinese okay with you? We can discuss the column over lunch. Come on, let's eat. Make that no shoe for two.
You okay with that?
Why wouldn't she be? She's your assistant. It's her job to keep you happy and well fed.
Yes, I can handle it.
Here you go. You were talking to her about the baby? What the hell were you thinking? You just don't get it, do you? Sam's not here to make a fresh start. She's a spy and she's digging up dirt on you.
I'm not blind. I know what she's doing. She's poking around this desk when I walked in on her this morning.
Then what are you waiting for? Why don't you just fire her and get it over with?
That would look a little suspicious, don't you think, if I fired her the day after I hired her? Shouldn't I wait for her to do at least one thing that's stupid and incompetent?
Just don't pretend you're not keeping her around to ease your conscience.
You know what? I feel like hell because of what I did to Sam. I promised myself that I would do anything that I could to try and make it up to her. Excuse me for having a heart.
Which seems to come and go like the wind.
You don't know anything about my heart.
How about the day you offed your brother?
My brother was a miserable human being. The argument could be made that he deserved to die.
Not according to his widow.
Okay, that's another thing. You know what? You don't get to talk about Taya, okay? You don't know Taya. But she is a very principled woman. She is a pain in the ass. And I'm sure that she would not want Sam to suffer any more than I do.
Sam doesn't deserve your sympathy or your guilt.
She's grieving for a baby that isn't dead. A baby that I could give back to her. How do I not feel guilty about that? Pain that I've caused Sam. All that grief.
Can't be undone.
Sure it can. I just come clean. I just tell her the truth about the baby.
Go ahead. Be noble. Tell her about the baby. And while you're at it, pack up your nice new life and prepare to go to prison. I really don't care. It doesn't make any difference to me.
Oh, hell, it doesn't. If I go to prison, you're going to prison. I'm sure the police would love to hear about the dead mob boss you were pushing around in a wheelbarrow.
Don't you dare compare what you did that night to what I did.
Oh, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. What you did is much worse.
You acted out of some distorted need for acceptance, while what I did for love.
You talked me into switching babies.
I didn't have to talk very hard.
You told me that Sam didn't want that baby. That she was bringing her child to the garden shed because she was going to abandon him.
It was a reasonable assumption.
What is your problem with her? What is so terribly wrong with Sam?
She's a selfish, lying opportunist.
And you're not? You tricked me into taking Sam's live baby and giving it to Taya.
What? Suddenly you're blameless?
Well, I don't know. I'm not somebody who thinks well under pressure.
All you had to do was walk outside and go and tell Taya the truth.
I take a live baby away from Taya and give her a dead one? How am I going to do that?
I don't know. How would you do it now?
Well, now I think that Sam deserves to know.
Well, I think the truth would really hurt Taya and a whole lot of other people you care about. How about your daughter, Star? How about if she knew that you gave another woman's baby to Taya? Do you think she'd forgive you?
We're done.
Oh, no. Not until you promise me you can keep your mouth shut.
I'm not going to make you any promises.
Yeah, assuming you don't mind facing a prison sentence for switching babies.
What? Come on, I shot my brother in cold blood. My lawyer got me off. I'm pretty sure you can get me.
And you don't care if your family writes you off forever.
They will come around eventually. They always do.
Okay. How about Sam's husband, Jason, you know, the hitman? What do you think he'll do when he finds out?
Come on, is he really as deadly as everybody says?
Why don't you have your research department check into it? He's never been caught. He doesn't leave any evidence.
I told Sam I had to tell her something about the baby. What am I going to do?
Hey, my lunch is here.
We'll eat in a couple of minutes. Just close the door behind you.
It's gonna get cold if I leave it out there any longer, and we have a conversation to finish. What did you want to tell me about my baby?
Let's eat. Food's not going to get any warmer.
I'm not hungry.
Mushu?
Sam.
Just say it.
Heaven's sake, I'll say it. Maybe we can eat in peace.
Heather.
No, really. It's only fair. After all, you're in this position because of me. And there's no easy way to say this, so...
Heather, I
I'm
really
just-
feel like I should be the one.
Now I realize you're uncomfortable about sharing the truth with Samantha, whereas I have no problem pointing the finger.
Okay, great. Will somebody please tell me what's going on?
It's your husband's fault your baby died. You see, Jason had your friend, John McBain, roughed up so he would leave town. And that's how you got stranded with a sick baby in a motel room and you couldn't get to a hospital in time.
How?
Because it's my job. I keep my finger on the pulse of this community, even the dark side. That's how I found out the truth about Jason. I dug deep, but at least now we know. I'm very sorry for your loss.
Yeah, are you?
Of course I am. See? Now you can breathe. Everything's out in the open. You don't have to feel guilty about keeping secrets from Sam anymore. You know what? I don't feel like Mushu. I think I'm gonna go get a BLT. Read this. See you later.
Is that all you had to tell me?
Well, Dad,
Because-
I'm sorry. Sam, I didn't know if knowing all those details would give you some sense of closure or if it would just upset you more, but I'm truly sorry that I kept the truth from you.
I don't understand, because there's no truth that's gonna bring my baby back.
worm in the apple, the truth will eventually be found.